Hey, welcome into another Sit Start Saturday. We're your hosts today, Alan and Jay. Kev, unfortunately, from Banger Management, had to cancel. His webcam decided to die on him. So, if any of you out there in the fantasy hockey community have recommendations on a new webcam, if you want to reach out to him, let him know. It'd be awesome. One love. Because I just bought like a random one when I first started doing all this. So, I probably not the one to recommend anything. But yeah, before we get into Sit Start, although Jay, should we just I think we have a couple in the chat. Not in the chat, in the Discord,
right.
Crazy. Okay, yes, we got three in the Sit Start in the Discord. Do we want to get to try to blow through those real quick and then talk about the insanity in the last 24 hours? Do we want to?
Oh, Alan,
do we want to talk about?
We can't start the pod without mentioning the shenanigans that happened on a Friday, just a Friday fortnight before Christmas. What is going on in the league, Alan?
Yeah, so there we go. Like these two said, what a day yesterday. I mean, it had been rumored for a while. So the first one, not really that much of a shocker, but still kind of like oh wow, it happened. Yeah, this happened. Okay. So first up, yes, Tristan Jarry did get traded to the Edmonton Oilers, and then Stuart Skinner did go the other way. Now, less fantasy relevant pieces. Brett Kulak did go also to the Pittsburgh Penguins, and then the Edmonton Oilers did pick up, I think, Spencer Stastny in that trade, who is, from what I can gather, like a younger Brett Kulak. So I guess if Brett Kulak was already fantasy relevant to you, Spencer Stastny will be about as fantasy relevant. But for most of us, who cares? The big pieces are the two goalies. And you looked like you had something, Jay.
Yeah, no, I actually did did a little bit of a deeper dive, thinking that this would be the main trade, and then obviously whatever the hell happened hours later, I was like, oh god,
I know, right? I was like, oh, this is the only exciting thing that's going to happen today.
For sure. My big one is, so I looked at it deeper, and I think there are more NHL specific implications than specific fantasy hockey implications. Big piece being that if you looked at the underlying stats, it was more so that I'm going to dig it up first. Let's do the comparable. So Jarry this season has what, a 909, sorry.
Essentially a little better than league average, right? I think last time I checked, league average was like 897-ish. I don't know if that's gone up or down in any direction.
That sounds right. And then Stuart, I think, is what? Like you said, 89, 890, 891, something along those lines.
Something like that.
So they're basically so far on kind of like a flipped, I guess there's 20 points between them, I guess percentage points. And people were constantly discussing, and I do agree that it's a ceiling versus a floor play. And people also argue that, do we really think Tristan Jarry's elevated play right now is indicative of normal, and that Skinner's somewhat depressed and inconsistent play is just his normal? People were saying it would be way more, I guess, arguable or likely that Jarry is playing at closer to his peak and Skinner closer to his floor. So is this really value-wise that great? Regardless, if you're viewing them just as somewhat equal, they are traded as if Jarry is the better goalie. And I don't know, people were voicing their opinions about this being a huge fleece for Kyle Dubas. So he is absolutely taking Bowman to the sticks. But I don't necessarily think this trade completely shifts the needle in either direction. I am completely, this is what, December 13th. Watch either of these teams end up making a crazy run, and it's like, oh, this was the amazing trade the whole time. But just on the glancing of it and just looking at it, the main piece is that they didn't want to give Skinner an extended contract, is my big take. It was an NHL move to not have to re-sign any goalie to an extended contract. They would have lost Skinner for free, right? Skinner was treated pretty
UFA horribly after the season. Yeah.
He was treated pretty horribly. by the fans, by the media. If they re-signed him, I think that would have been a pretty losing deal for Bowman in the sense that what could you have re-signed him for? You can't re-sign him for like $2 million, nor would nor would any Skinner like in his right mind be reasonably, he'd be reasonably justified not to re-sign for like pennies on the dollar in a city that has been very, very aggressively against him. On the flip side, what happens with Jari? Jari is on a not a
He's got 2 more years
deal.
left.
He's what, $5 million? But not is he only on 5.5. He gets what do you call it? He gets 2 years left on his deal, and who else is also on 2 years left in a deal? Connor McDavid. It's like you just roll them together. You know what I mean? Like, so can Jari be good enough in these 2 years? We shall see. But regardless, they're only committing what, $5.5 million to the goaltending increase situation.
Right.
They can then open up the other, income and salary cap and all that stuff to devote to other aspects of their roster. I kind of explained, I guess, my mindset as to why they would do this deal, Alan, but I think fantasy implication wise, both guys are probably already owned up. Both guys are probably already like capped out for value. I don't know. Like, oh, wait, geez. Lala.
Just a lot of people saying hi.
Geez,
Fantasy wise, I don't know. I think we have a sample size of 0 right now. My friend is Gene. Okay. We have a sample size of 0. We can't say. And goalies is such a. I think I was talking to Patrick Fry in Discord this morning. Such a finicky position. So many systems involved, like in front of them, the goalie themselves, they have to learn like what they need to save, what they have to cover up. There's no telling like how long it'll take to get them to adapt. I actually think the 2 teams meet on next Tuesday.
Oh, geez.
I know, right? So that'll be an interesting game. Let me double check that. Yeah, Edmonton and Pittsburgh play each other on Tuesday.
Because it would be a revenge game for both goalies if they were to start, right? Yeah.
It'd be interesting. I'd be shocked if they play Jari today against Toronto. That's a high talk about a high how are you game.
It would be into the flames and into the fire.
Yeah.
But, I mean, truth be told, the other trade, I guess, is probably far more fantasy relevant and interesting in some facets.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think we'll find out. We may not even find out who won the trade or what the full fantasy implications are until after the
months from
season's
now,
over.
weeks from now. Yeah.
Hopefully, I mean, I at least think Jari is worth a pickup.
Yes. Oh, actually, no, 100%. Yeah, I would say I don't think Jari's sitting on wires in most.
No, I think he was already about 50-something% owned.
Let's check. He is now at 64% owned, and it looks like of that 64%, 18% was from the last day.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think there was only, I think of the 3 leagues I'm in, only one he was available. But I don't know. For Skinner, I do wonder if a change of scenery helps him.
I think the spotlight. Well, somebody else mentioned it. It's like so uncanny for it to need to have to be mentioned. But Alan, this is the Stanley Cup goalie for 2 straight years. This is not chump change. People say as if he didn't do or stand on his head at significant stretches during those playoff runs to get the Oilers there. This is an amazing pickup to bring over to like an already championship pedigreed Pittsburgh Penguins, right? Like with that core and spine. So this could be really interesting if, like this could be really interesting for Pittsburgh. We all talk about the championship aspirations of Edmonton, but this could be really interesting for Pittsburgh if Pittsburgh can keep their play.
I wonder if Skinner becomes the starter or they run some sort of 1A, 1B tandem with Shelovs.
Shelovs also had his, I guess, like he has peaks and troughs, but his peaks were pretty high with Vancouver as well, right? Like he had a decent playoff run himself.
Right.
I
But
think that
I don't think his last few starts have been spectacular. I know he was one of the goalies that had like a really good November. But I don't think his last couple starts have been great. Look at
I think it's one of those situations where it's like oh god, okay. So
I'm just thinking of the Toronto game. He's only had one start so far this month.
oh
A
god,
9-2-9 against Anaheim.
Alan, he hasn't won since November 6th. This is Artur Shilovs.
Right.
It is.
But he's only had one start so far this month. I think the Penguins were trying to showcase Jari, and it worked. I do kind of think the Penguins sold high on Jari, but I'd heard, I'm pretty sure this was Jari. I had heard he had been dealing long term with some injuries that you just get playing goalie. So supposedly he's one of those, like, he's totally healthy guys. This is it. This is his year. So I don't know. Maybe Edmonton did get like a fully healthy Jari. Who knows? Maybe they bought a lemon. I don't know. I don't know. It just kind of feels like in some ways it feels like a very lateral move, and they're just kind of stuck with Jari for 2 more years with a slightly older goalie. I don't know. I don't know.
It's a contract thing, I think, right? Like, I think Skinner was in a toxic situation where the media had framed it so that he was just not the trustable guy in Edmonton. I'm not saying,
and I really don't think it's all his fault, man. Like, I really don't look at some of that stuff. It's not all him.
If you saw some of the turnstiles that he had in front of him, and I'm not saying turnstiles isn't bad players. I'm just saying, like
a $10.5 million one. Yeah.
It's just incredible when you had like 2 or 3 guys like straight up in a line, or like 2 guys parked right in front, and then just, like front row seats to watch another guy bang in a rebound. Like, it was craziness to see some of the goals that were causing him, to, like, we're pointing at him saying look at him. His like save percentage is horrible. His goals against is horrendous. And I was like, yeah, but add all, like, you take away some of those ridiculous, crazy high score factors, like any defenseman clearing an extra puck, maybe he's now at a 900. Maybe he's now at a 910.
Right.
It's those things where it's genuinely not his fault, but he gets and absorbs so much of the blame. And I guess I'm absolving him of some of the blame now. But when you have a goalie that gets you to the finals, like,
yeah, I'm glad someone picked up on exactly what I was hinting at.
I'm trying to say it without saying the name, but yeah.
Or what is Nurse make, like 9.5 mil? Like,
yeah, I think it's 9.5.
I don't know how you dump that on someone. You don't, or at least half of it.
No, and hey, they have their moments. Like, I will say, like, Nurse.
No,
like,
yeah, I mean, all those guys do. You don't. I mean, if you play one game in the NHL, you're like in the top 1% of all hockey players, right? Like,
yeah. But having said that, I mean, all my arguments for them, whatever, it is kind of disgusting when you look at, okay, Bouchard, like, when people talk about Bouchard, you think this guy was like, I don't know, like doing some
like human turnstile.
Things. Yeah. But he's still got 5 goals, 23 assists. Like, he's producing offensively. He still has like 70 odd shots, all that, like almost 40 blocks. And then you look at Nurse, like, Nurse is paid as if he would be like, a top bona fide D-man, and he's got 11 points in 30 games, right? So it's pretty stark, right? It's pretty
I feel difficult. Like his paycheck is, I don't know, his paycheck is just like very deceptive for his role.
Yeah. It's difficult because you have some guys in Edmonton where they are doing good work. It's just that if you're describing their comparative value, they aren't giving good value and supplementary work to what their paycheck, could be. Like, God, Alan, who is on the best contract? I'm so stuck on the best contract for a while was McKinnon's old contract, right?
But yeah.
Who's on the best contract now?
I don't know.
Like,
it's probably got to be some of those teams that like have like an internal cap kind of thing, like maybe some those guys that should be making like 11, 12 million that make that make like 9, 8, 9.
Oh shit! What's Wyatt Johnston's contract? Was it 8 and 8, something like that? Like Wyatt Johnston,
maybe something
incredible
like that.
contract.
Yeah, especially since he seems to be taking like top line. We're getting in the weeds. So
100%. Yeah.
Skinner Jari.
Skinner Jari.
Yeah, I don't know. Initial overreactions. This might be, I don't know, lateral move at best. I mean, I think for fantasy, hopefully both guys improve, and hopefully you grabbed Jari, or I don't know if you want to like blow your load and try to trade for him. That seems silly, even though I might have done that in a league and it got accepted.
I think the big one is that, so when you have the biggest one is this. So Edmonton, I think, has shown time and time again that like the same players that are playing in front of same players that were playing.
Like I said, I keep saying it. I saw the statistics. Supposedly they have one of the easier schedules for the rest of the season. So I guess kind of no matter who you put in like to backstop them is going to benefit from that.
For sure. And I think the other take is just there is something about galvanization. There's something about if
this is what we got, right? Like Stan Bowman went and got us. This is who we got us. Like, let's give them all we have. So yeah, hopefully
it reminds me of those moments when you pull a goalie and it's really none of the goals were the goalie's fault, but it's just, I need something to wake up the dudes, like just to wake up the team and be like, hey, like, look at how bad you guys have played. This could be that factor for the Edmonton Oilers. Like, think about how good of a guy Skinner is. Look at all his interviews. They got this man traded out of Edmonton because their play wasn't enough to, make it so that their defense could hold up. Like, where are they sitting right now? They're sitting in a first wild card spot, which is, like, maybe you could argue that they're in the right spot where they're at, but I could argue that I think Edmonton could be just, right behind Vegas, right? Like right in front of Vegas, you could argue too. This is like championship bona fide team. So why and where are they getting this sort of stuff? Like all those damn 7-2 and 8-1 games that they just gave up and let the other team pound them for. And hey, new goalie, like it gets a refreshed locker room, galvanized trade. Maybe that's what it was. Skinner wasn't doing that for them in that way.
No. So, all right. Probably enough for now. I gotta do a little bit more homework, and then we have our show tomorrow anyway. And then the other, the probably the unexpected trade, like
the bigger trade out.
Yeah.
Bigger trade.
Shit. Was I at the gym yet? I forget where I was. Just all of a sudden, Elliot Friedman tweet comes through, and I'm like, hold up here. Let me make sure it's not April 1st. Okay. Right. Like, it's spelled correctly. It's got the blue check. Holy shit. Like,
holy
Quinn
shit.
Hughes to Minnesota. And what I feel like Vancouver got a pretty good haul for him too.
Incredible haul.
The first rounder, obviously. That's nice. And then stuff they can use now and in the next couple of years. Marco Rossi, Liam Ogren, and Zeev Boyum going the other way. So you got to think Quinn Hughes automatically, no ands, ifs, or buts, power play 1 in Minnesota.
For sure.
And then, I think, was it Discord, Jay, we were talking before the show, like somewhat. Frank did have a question here. Before we get too far here. So Dan Ballard, top 10 goalie rest of the season. I don't know about top 10. I think Philly plays a very goalie friendly system. You probably got him for free.
Right.
So I think for the price you would pay to get him, he'll be a good goalie. But I don't know about top 10.
Yeah. I mean, I think looking at all those other goalies we mentioned with like the save percentages being what they were, for me to see a 900 plus save percentage goalie, I'm like, oh wow, they still exist out.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And it's it looks like it's 898. So maybe it's gone up a little bit.
Yeah, but he's 906 and this is decent value, especially for a guy under 50% ownership. I think he is a classic quintessential example of a great.
He had the pedigree. I mean, we saw this. What team was he with before? Was it?
Oh God, was it Calgary?
It might have been Calgary, and or Boston.
Yeah. But these are the kinds of goalies where I think if there's anyone that's arguing for a zero-G hero, great guys like this, right? Like I would say, I don't know if there's a different poster child for these sorts of guys, right? Like guys that ended up taking over a 1A, 1B situation. They play and get a good amount of starts. It looks like their save percentage has earned them enough. They are playing, importantly, on a team that is not likely to actually no, that's not true. So they are in a wild card spot. But you basically want goalies that are right around that angle, right? You don't want necessarily the top tandem goalies in say a Carolina, right, where they have such a good defensive system. Boosty, what, 110 out of 11 or something disgusting?
Yeah, because what is that? Like he was the fastest goalie to 10 wins they just came out with and said. But this is great though. So Vladar, again, you pay nothing to get him most likely. If he just starts shitting himself, you don't lose, you don't have any sunk cost if you drop him. So wins.
My only thing I would say is,
I would say that's not a bad not set up, like not a bad set of categories to have.
I was just realizing too, though, like, did Boosie just bounce and luck his way into the main
starting
role? I'm just looking at some of the stats. Like, it looks pretty.
I have some notes on this for tomorrow's show. Like, he's started like several. It's like we were worried about like a 3-headed goalie monster in Carolina. It may be Boosie's net right now.
Maybe just a single-headed monster.
At this point. It may be just kind of like Boosie's net to lose for the moment. Yeah, you got Vladar for free. Yeah, if he sucks, you don't really have any sunk cost into him right now. And with those categories, I would say, I wouldn't say top 10, but he's not hurting you by owning him for sure. So back to Quinn Hughes. So yes, obviously lock for power play 1. Can we call him D1 pairing? I know Jay, you and I were talking about like maybe he's not. I mean, does he have the physicality in Minnesota to really munch a ton of the minutes, right? Because we don't think he could do PK. Maybe he could. But we know Minnesota has a bunch of like physical guys.
I guess like this is more of a hot take, Alan, that I was saying, but more
this is perfect. They haven't even played a game yet. This is the perfect time to overreact.
But I was saying, just he is such a he's not undersized in the way, but he's a slightly undersized D, I guess, like a D man. And when you have him on the same team as some of those other minute munchers, like, do you almost want to shelter some of his defensive duties so that you can open and unlock more of his offensive capacity and capabilities, being on a team where it's already so top heavy?
Yeah.
In terms of overloading, in terms of so many other facets, do we want to like throw him out there for like 25 minutes, eating up all those minutes, or do we want to, make him more of like a specialist offensive player, given that you already have guys like on that team who, like, let's look at that Minnesota lineup, right? You have like a Faber, you have like a Brodin, you have those guys that can just sit there. Okay, maybe not Brodin, but you have guys that can just sit there and, munch minutes as well. I mean, they didn't pay Faber just to, he obviously wasn't paid to do anything on the offensive side. So why not, lean heavy into having him do a lot more defensive duty so that Quinn can be more offensive focused? But maybe that doesn't require, Quinn to be sidelined from D1 either. Like, maybe it's just keep it simple. He's our best D-man. D1, power play 1. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah, or maybe they I don't know, maybe they kind of not shelter him, but opportunistic plays, right?
I do like it.
But yeah, I don't know.
What do you
Oh,
think,
oh,
though? I would say about Boyum and Rossi. What do you think
there
about
we go.
their?
Yeah, so we can. There we go. This is where we can absolutely overreact and be like, "Well, we had a sample size of 0. We were working with what we could." So, and I did. Yeah, Patrick Fry did have questions about this in Discord. I tried to answer best I could. I do think, maybe not right away, but I do think Power Play 1 is on the table for Boyum in Vancouver.
My big take is I think Boyum is the huge value play because he's
Yeah.
competing against Hronik, right? That's his
Right.
competition.
And that's
So-
where I'm wondering if Hronik gets it maybe at first, right? Because
right.
you can't. It seems silly to just sort of like, here you go, like high caliber prospect rookie, like here is Power Play 1, like there you go. So I wonder if Hronik gets it for a handful of games, maybe get Boyum up to speed with their system, how they're going to want him on that power play and then give it to him. But I see a path for him to get Power Play 1 before season's end. Absolutely.
My hot take, though, Alan, is that you look at the standings now, and I didn't realize how far Vancouver's fallen. And
Oh yeah, they're dead last, right?
yes.
And now what do they have to lose?
Points.
Why not? Why not give him all the time in the world? And then
I was going further. Like, if you looked at those trades, so all those things, the first round draft pick, the who's it? So there's Marco Rossi, who's on IR. I mean, hey, take your time, it's company time. It's the season. Heal on company. You got hurt on company. Let's quote Shaquille O'Neal. If I got hurt on company time, I want to heal on company time. Like they're I don't even think it's Shaq's quotes or my quotes here. I'm pretty sure this would be straight out of the mouth of the Vancouver GM as well. Yeah, they'd be like, hey, Alan, I don't know much about this Liam Ogren guy, but like
he was already playing, I think, middle 6 time in Minnesota. I think he was kind of a higher end prospect. I remember I brought him up kind of in the preseason early on. I forget when he was. I couldn't tell you other than just that he was like a kind of a higher end prospect.
He's gotten what did it say? He failed to log a point in all 18 games played in which he averaged 9 minutes. So they probably don't care if he plays or not. Like you can give him some extra minutes and stuff, but they actually might want him to play in the sense that if he's getting no points in 18 games and you're telling me McKenna's at the end of a race I finished last, dude, I'll play you for 19 minutes, like 20 minutes. Yeah.
I mean, I'm still not sure Ogren is fantasy relevant at all.
What you mean, Ogren?
Ogren, yeah. I'm not sure he's fantasy relevant at all.
He's not. He's fantasy irrelevant, but for the purposes of Vancouver, he is absolutely relevant to get nothing done. Right, that's
to be
the goal.
A warm body.
Yes, they need free skates from as many of their players now for Gavin McKenna sweepstakes is what they need.
Yeah,
but you're looking at it, so they have a draft pick that's going to be for future considerations. A dude that was getting 9 minutes a night, a Rossi who was injured, and they might honestly hope he stays injured. So what is the incentive for Vancouver from this trade? They might really just be incentivized to give up their top D-man, get some capital back, get a young D-man that they can really open up and give more power play 2 and power play 1 time just to gel in as a season that's quote-unquote lost. But they're losing with it, and I think that's crucial in salary cap leagues such as our NHL. I think this trade, and Alan, we just know. We're going to say it out in the open, Alan. This trade indicates that Vancouver is officially McKenna driven for the rest of 25-26.
And it's nice for Rossi. He did sort of, it seems like he hemmed and hawed to get that contract signed. Like it did seem like he wanted out. I don't know if Vancouver is where he wanted to go, but he is out. Vancouver gets their 2C
in Minnesota. He wanted the rain in Vancouver, I guess, is what he was going with.
Yeah. I don't know. For deployment, though, you got to think Rossi is their 2C. Power play one though. Do we think Rossi gets power play one when he comes back?
Does this doesn't fuck up their entire setup? I'm just looking at their guys. So I'm looking at there's what DeBrus, Besser, Garland. That's going to be their new.
Well, who else is on the move, right?
I guess Rossi has to be, right? If he when or if he comes back on back from IR, right? Because
I mean, and they've talked about not talked about. I mean, they were trying Reichel for like a minute,
right?
At 2C, it didn't work.
Alan, where are their centers? Why am I scrolling through just a whole bunch of names that I swear are wingers?
PD's out right now.
Who is centering their lines?
Nobody. Yeah, everyone is kind of dead right now.
Just have an empty space in their face-off dots. Like, what is going on? And maybe their goal is just to tank, Alan.
Okay, like, so initial lines like well, I think this is also they have no PD in there.
Yeah.
But I mean, initial lineups, I mean, Daily Faceoff does have Zeev Boyum and Marco Rossi in Power Play 1, but there's also no PD. Yeah. I don't know. I'd be shocked if they don't have Marco Rossi on Power Play 1.
Right.
Yeah, David Kampf 1C. Like, what the heck? This was David Kampf was the guy who had his him and Toronto mutually parted ways. And now he's the 1C in Vancouver right now with PD out. Like, that's how desperate their 1C situation is, or their center situation is. The whole center market actually is just nuts right now. Like, everyone's hard up for like quality centers.
I think this is crazy value for Marco Rossi right now. Like, he's what, 20% ownership?
I mean,
like
his stonk's down though, right? Because he's not playing with Kaprizov.
Yes, but having said that, he's also given like a full free reign for center one, line one, right? Like, you shift
with PD out, right? Yeah. Well, he's not. No, Rossi's still injured. Like, he's not playing tonight.
They said but does Vancouver have a game tonight? I thought Vancouver.
I think so.
Yeah. So Vancouver doesn't play tonight, but they do have a game on Sunday in which Rossi was stated and slated to be nearing a return. I don't know if I believe any of this bullshit anymore, man. Like, it's just
who knows? Although, what is it like? Bo Horvat, like, one announcement was like day to day, then it's week to week. Now it's like 1 to 3 weeks.
Right. Yeah. Turns out he was missing a leg and we had to regrow it. Like, what did you mean 1 week away? But yeah, like, so this could entirely be, if Marco Rossi is truly along as the, I guess, Canucks or I guess the Wild before we're stating regarding his injury about nearing a return to play on Sunday, then this would be stonks to the moon for Rossi, because at 20% ownership, he's now going for top line centerman. No Jeek in his way. Like, this is damn.
No Jeek, no Yurov. And I wonder if that's what helped motivate this trade was the ascension of Danil Yurov.
For sure.
Even though he himself doesn't do a whole lot that shows up on like a fantasy box score, they were able to, Danil Yurov is like a warm enough body to play with Kaprizov and then either Zook or Tarasenko right now.
I think the two value plays are just this the Vancouver center position, because I think Rossi displaces any other center after PD, and then further PD could also shift to a wing, and you could create, I guess, like a somewhat stronger top line setup than you had before. And then I think at the same time, the other value play is just with the vacated position, the vacation of Quinn Hughes. He's going to come back eventually, guys. With the vacated position.
It won't be Vancouver.
Right. Yeah. With the vacated position of Quinn Hughes, then I think Zeev Boyum, there is nobody else that's going to compete with him for PP1.
No.
And unfortunately, it looks like
I feel like this is, well, I guess I saw like early lineup, like, the first pairing was Hughes Faber, because my initial thought was Faber stonks down. Like, there's just no way in hell he's sniffing power play 1 without an injury.
And they put him together.
Put him together. So now it's like, well, is Faber now the Devon Tays in
Who does that hurt, Alan?
Minnesota.
Wait, hold on. So who got bumped out from the 5 then? Because there's what, Kaprizov, Boldy, Jeek, and then is it Quinn and Faber?
Oh, let me pull it up. No, Faber was. I don't think Faber would get like sniffs of power play 1. So right now I see Tarasenko, Jeek, Boldy, Faber, Kaprizov. There's no way Faber sticks. That's going to be Hughes. Well, okay. So Hughes doesn't play today. That has been formally announced. Hughes will debut Sunday against Boston.
Thank
So
goodness.
Faber is a warm body for today.
Alan, I was so disgusted when you said Faber's name after that massive trade, and he's still in the power play 1. Oh my goodness! Like he did,
well, it was
not playing today.
Like
Quinn is not playing today.
I don't know. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like Faber is now kind of like the Devin Tays in Minnesota. Maybe we'll see.
Great.
Great.
We've gone so far in the weeds, Alan. Let's.
No, this is good. I assumed we would take at least half the show to initially overreact to all this. So yeah, let's jump in. So first up, we got D-Stu. He needs goals. Kadri and Calgary just ain't cutting it. Well, what? Yeah, well, yeah, of course, bench Kadri. That was the right move. And McKinnon, yeah, goals, yes. Yeah, are you? I guess D-Stu, are you looking to pick someone up off waivers? If so, kind of who are some of the people on waivers? Drop Saros for Jari. I don't know. I don't know if I'd be so quick to do that. Nashville is on some sort of weird tear lately. We kind of brought it up Wednesday night. Oh no, they're still toward the bottom, but they're winning games right now. I think this will be like a year or two ago after the thing where they canceled the U2 concert on them. They'll go on some sort of nice little tear, but eventually they'll sort of come back down to earth a little bit.
Management should seriously just implement more of these, like concert tour opportunities, just to have strategic cancels available to them to like boost morale or something. Like
I don't know if there's enough runway for them to even sniff a wild card spot, but for right now they're winning games. I don't know. I'm torn on that one.
I think the big one is like I mentioned it last time as well, that one of their wins that they talked about, like they got a big win, but the big win was on the backs of them like almost throwing a game against the Avs, right? They almost they had the Avs on the ropes. It was the Avs had already pulled their goalie. They had, I think, like 2 or 3 chances cleanly to clear the zone and failed. Like, this is a team that has structural issues, just structural problems. I would not do it. I would not be opposed to dropping a Saros for a Jari. My only thing with Jari is just that goalie-wise, Saros should have elevated play in terms of his ceiling capacity compared to Jari's ceiling capacity, goalie to goalie. But then their team scenarios and situations are very different.
Teams is kind of the deciding factor for me. I still feel like Saros is the better individual goalie. Yes. But Jari has the better team in front of him. Maybe not defensively.
Yeah.
But Jari has he is like 2 of the best players in the world in front of him.
And so I would say, importantly, this is a differentiating factor for a points league, which he said is a points league, right? So,
yeah. So maybe you have a little bit more leeway to play Jari.
And I would say too, big thing with points is points league always prioritize wins and shutouts and saves, right? Like those are the 3 main ones that get targeted with additional points. I would say in those sorts of league settings, you can end up, it depends on how many points, or I guess how valuable a win is. Because in our league, Alan, I don't think any league is more skewed for goalie wins than maybe the leagues we play in. And even in those leagues and setups and situations, you can have goalies that see so much rubber that they can still deliver crazy outsized value.
Yeah.
In that case, I think you almost want the Saros, right? Because Saros is going to face so much puck.
And like I said, Edmonton has one of the easy. It was like 5th easiest schedule from here on out.
Yeah. I guess so.
I'd be okay with Yari over Saros. Like I said, I truly think Nashville will kind of come back down to earth. I just don't think they have the personnel to really go on some sort of historic run to even, like I said, sniff a wild card spot.
You don't think Stamkos is going to score 4 goals a night for the rest of the season?
No. Does he have the talent? Yes. Does he have the people around him to make it happen? Not right now. But yeah, Patrick, I wouldn't worry. If Faber is like your 4th, 5th defenseman, I wouldn't panic yet. Like I said, early deployments show that Faber is paired with Hughes. There's still, I mean, Hronek was still fantasy relevant a lot of the time. So if you were okay with favoring, or if Hronek was rostered in a lot of leagues, I would say Faber is still very rosterable. Especially if those peripherals were relevant to you already, now you have a little bit better of a point ceiling. Yeah, I wouldn't panic. And again, like we've joked about, Jay and I have joked about it. I think even TJ's joked about it. Oh no. Yeah, okay, there we go. So Patrick, yeah, I set this up. So now depending on whichever way you want it, you can watch us vertically or horizontally. Maybe I disable that, but last time someone actually liked that you could watch this vertically or horizontally. But yeah, I wouldn't panic about Faber yet. I lost my train of thought. Oh well. Point being, yeah, don't panic on Faber. Hopefully you didn't give up too much for him. Oh yeah, the power play one. Yeah, we've joked about it for a while. I remember TJ's even joked about it, that like the quarterback is kind of irrelevant there in Minnesota, and we're about to find out just how irrelevant now that they actually have someone who is a bona fide stud at that position.
If it turned out, I would be so upset if it turned out that it was the Minnesota situation the whole time. Oh, that'd be so upsetting.
Okay, so hard days nights. He's playing Beckett Senek and Cutter Gauthier. He's benching Zegras and Emil Heineman. Cats League, he needs goals, assists, plus minus Pim's blocks. Yeah, I'd say, I mean, Senek and Gauthier will get you the goals and the assists for sure. Plus minus, I mean, if they're scoring goals, that'll definitely be a boost for your plus minus. Pims and blocks, I say with those 4 guys are going to be hard to get. I mean, Heineman, I would say gets you the blocks, but out of those 4, I just don't know who would get you Pims and stuff.
Heineman maybe, right? Like with physicality,
but I don't think it's worth benching Gauthier or Senek at the cost of. Yeah, if you need goals and assists, I would shoot for goals and assists and try to get those categories
too. I also
just get blocks.
I just structurally love the idea of starting both Cutter, Gauthier, and Bennett Seneke as a lover of the concentrative scoring. I just love it.
And they got Dostal back today, so hopefully that gives them more of an opportunity to just go ham and try to score. All right. So we got okay, so we got the lineup.
Do we want to move to Pokemon?
Yep. So we are benching Aho and Barzal. And this is our league where I think this is our league where goalies don't do a whole lot. So, okay. So Heischer versus Anaheim. I kind of my only concern is now Jersey is down just a ton of guys.
Yeah. It's that league.
They're down.
It's the league where there's a heavy skew towards
goals. Oh, did I lose you, Jay? Did I lose you, Jay? I might have lost him. So all right. So looking at this while I'm waiting for Jay. Yeah, New Jersey worries me because now they're down Timo for personal reasons. Arseny Gritsyuk, I got his name right this time. Oh, are you back, Jay?
Yeah. Sorry.
There we go. Okay. So yeah, Jersey. I'm worried about Jersey because they have lost two more pieces. They've lost Timo and they've lost Gritsuyuk, who was practicing on power play 1. So I don't know about Hischier. I don't know about Hischier, especially with the Ducks getting Dostal back.
Alan, we have to mention it too. Like, what's up with Nemec?
Oh, isn't he in? I thought I saw he was in.
But not only is he in, supposedly he's the quarterback.
What?
I know.
Really?
And they were saying, wait, hold on. Is it because, like somebody's out? And supposedly no, like Hamilton's in and Hughes is healthy. But yeah, they said Nemec was getting power play 1 minutes. Oh, but he's out today.
Yeah.
Never mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Wait, what was his injury? Was this Nepo related or no?
Luke broke his legs.
Yeah. But yeah, this is huge value for, I guess, like guys like Mercer, right?
Yeah. Well, again, if they're
Mercer.
missing so many other guys around them, they need help scoring. So that's what worries me about playing Hischier today. But we're playing Aho against Philly and Barzal against Tampa.
Yeah.
And I mean, with the Isles down Horvat, that means that Barzal is going to get all the good matchups.
Yeah, I don't know, Alan. I kind of would want Aho or Barzal in over Hischier.
Me too. Me too.
Hischier is playing a top Western Conference team, which is crazy to say about Anaheim. Guys, like I am stuck in like last year's mentality too, right? But we're 10 weeks in.
The last few years where Anaheim is just garbage. Sure. But yeah.
But this year they are amazing. And you're getting what? So Aho is on also the top team. Is that the top team in the
one of
East?
the top teams?
Yep, top team in the Met. Top team in the Met. Yeah, top team in the Isles as well. I don't know. I think
hopefully Winnipeg, because it sounds like Connor Hellebuyck could come back any day now.
Yes.
Hopefully Winnipeg plays Comrie. That makes me feel better about playing Strome.
Yeah.
But I would still play Strome, honestly.
Like, if you threw both Aho and Barzal in over Hischier and Strome, I would like kind of grit my teeth a little, but I would understand it. I would definitely understand that more than starting Hischier and Strome, knowing what
neither of them are really huge upgrades over the other. I don't feel good about Hischier right now with them being down so many other pieces. Because what does that make? Let me see what that makes their top line now. Because
that makes
because I think they're doing okay. So top
Brat,
Brat Palat Hischier.
Brat Palat Hischier.
And then their second line drops off hard. Mercer, Cotter, Nason.
Yeah. Right. And their power play 1 is now, in addition to Hischier, Brat, Mercer, and I guess Dougie's back. So I guess Dougie Hamilton alongside Nason. I don't know, Alan. That doesn't really strike me as like I don't know. It doesn't strike me as, like the tiger, the teething tiger. You know what I mean? I don't know if that strikes me.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe he'll come into a lucky game, but he only has 1 assist in his last 5 games. Even in the 4-8 loss to Tampa, like he had nothing to show for it.
Which is insane to say. Oh my God, this is the top line centerman and top line power play.
Yeah.
Oh God.
But it sucks because any game he could fall backwards into like 2-3 points.
Yes. He also is he the only guy taking faceoffs in that team? Like, is he just on the ice to take? Is he on the ice to take faceoffs and then like hustles to the bench or something? Like,
the Ryan O'Reilly.
Yeah.
Ryan
O'Reilly.
I feel like Aho is substitutable for Hischier.
Yeah, Pokemon. I think I would do that. I would honestly probably even throw in Barzal over Strome. But hey, Strome also like I have Strome in some leagues as well, right? Like he does shit.
Yeah, if you have enough time to see if Winnipeg plays Comrie, I would keep Strome in.
Right. Okay.
Because Comrie has been garbage, and I'm so glad that I did not rush out to the wire to pick up Comrie. Because
Yeah.
I feel like everywhere I've seen where people rush to pick up Comrie, he has been dropped since.
Oh, Alan, I play in a crazy deep league where I don't think Comrie is droppable, and I picked him
Ouch.
up, and it is like that's how deep the league is, right? I think it's like 500 players or whatnot are still like ownable in that league, and I got Comrie. It sucked, Alan. It sucked. It has not been a fun time.
Oh, and then best stream for next week. So man, you spoiled it. Alex, yeah. New York's 5 games. So Lafreniere, he is practicing on Power Play 1, pretty widely available. He just on volume alone, he should be top streamer, but I
Just get
don't
him.
know. I don't
Just get him.
You think so?
You don't have to, what do you call it? Like, not only does he have 5 games, but I think the 5 games also have, like, I know it's 2 off nights that they're missing, but importantly, it's the first 2 games of the week, right? So, sorry, first 2 days of the week. So just snag him first.
Oh,
get
yeah.
him for,
and so, well, Anaheim and Vancouver. I like the Vancouver game.
I love the
'cause
Vancouver
if they're
game.
still down PD
Oh, God.
and they're
Even if
down
they're
like
not
one
down
of the
PD.
best defensemen in the league.
Yeah, they got an injured dude, a dude that plays 9 minutes, a rookie, and they're also, before losing their best defenseman, the last placed team in the league. So yeah, beautiful stream.
There we go. Okay. Yeah, we got a couple questions. Okay, so sorry. Let's rank these, and then we got a couple questions in the chat here. Try to get to because they're revolting and they're answering each other. I would Buchnevich at the bottom for me, hands down. I know he had a little bit of a hot streak there, but dude is $8 million and only has like, or an $8 million player only has like 15-ish points on the season. Zaka above him. Yeah, I would say almost in that order. And then, yeah, I think you're right, Jay. Like, start the week with Laugh. And if in those 2 games he does nothing, then maybe pivot to someone else.
I think it's always
Laugh,
better.
Stamkos, Zaka, Booch.
Yeah, and for sure. And I guess all the listeners hear me mentioning it over and over again, right? But it's just, if you want to outplay your opponent, you have to outplay in terms of volume of games your opponent. And so first, give yourself that option and chance. You can always pivot off after, but you can't it's way not even impossible. It's way harder to start like guys that have 2 games going in the week and then try to outplay and grab more games going into the week. So get the games on your roster and you can drop from there.
So, all right. So Frank's asking, drop Bennington. Well, now that we know for sure Bennington's not the goalie going to Edmonton, his other goalies are Vladar, Askarov, and Hildeby. So Bennington.
Frank, do you need 4 goalies?
No, that's why he's asking to drop Bennington. So what makes that sort of a conundrum for me is Hildeby is temporary. Bennington's not going anywhere. Like, Hofer might steal some starts for a minute. It seems like Hofer has been the better goalie, but Bennington will get that net back at some point. Hildeby is only getting all these starts while Wall and Stolars are out.
My big thing is it would depend on how many starts you were required to maintain your stats in your league. Or at least like per week, how many you're required. I think if you need 3 starts a week to keep your goalie stats or goalie points, like depending if you're a points or a Cats league, I think holding 2 starters is way more than enough.
Yeah.
And so I think 4 is overkill. And I would say your question should more be like Hildeby should be put on the side because Hildeby is not a permanent fixture.
Right.
Shouldn't be, right? But it should be Binnington, Vladar, Askarov. And which of these 3 are you going to have as your 2 permanent fixtures? And then you can kind of treat the last position as a rotator. The other one I would say too is who's on his wire where let's say you drop Binnington. Is Binnington going to stick out like a sore thumb as like, this amazing dude that everyone else like, wow, I want that? maybe that's a risk. But if not, I think holding 4 goalies is quite a bit.
Yeah. But no, I think Jay, didn't you drop Benny? I think you dropped Bennington
I
in your
did. I
Super
did.
Bangers League. No one's touched him.
No one's touched him.
Yeah. I feel like that's happened in a couple spots and no one's touched Bennington. I think if you drop Bennington, no one's going to touch him. Yeah. The only problem is, all right, so you drop Bennington today. That's probably not a bad move. Hildeby, cool. He's been, doing amazing. But what happens when Wall and or Stolars come back? You know, now you're playing the shell game. You got to find out who to swap him for. So yeah, I would say you're probably good to drop him, but then it's who, you got to think ahead of, once the Toronto goalies get healthy, who replaces Hildeby, unless you're just going to run Vladar Askarov, which is certainly a possibility.
I think the only one I would say, Alan, too, is I can see the argument against dropping Bennington. As somebody who did drop Bennington, I could see the argument against dropping him, which is essentially that to drop him means you are freeing up only the value of a roster spot. Whereas if you try to trade for him, you could possibly recoup value in maybe like another bolstered part of your lineup. My issue right now is I think Bennington's has.
Are you saying trade Bennington?
I'm saying it's worth considering if there would be any manager that would still be at this point thinking about.
I was like, I don't think anyone would. Yeah, maybe if it was, maybe if the rumors were still really strong that he could go to Edmonton, but apparently that was never even a consideration.
I think if there's no trade bait,
he has no trade value.
I think I would do the drop. I would do the drop, Frank, if that was the case. I mean, I'm not just saying I would do. I have practiced what I've preached with Bennington. Yeah.
Risto joining the team on the upcoming road trip, might get a chance on Power Play 1. Decent banger. Yeah. Decent for category coverage. Absolutely. So I think we mentioned this on Wednesday. Always might get a chance. Yeah. I feel like Philly is one of those where, what's his face? Tortorella did it. Seems like Tockett's doing it too, where that QB position kind of changes hands a lot. So Risto could do it. If you're, back in my day, get off my lawn. Risto was the QB in Buffalo for probably way too long before Dahlin came in. So he has experience doing it. It's entirely possible. That's not why Philly brought him in, but they certainly could give him some cycles on PP1. But I wouldn't pick him up for that though.
Yeah, and I would say I definitely wouldn't do it for the coming week where they play 3 games all on heavy nights, right? So I mean, I would need to see your roster construction long trend as well. Where are you missing? Are you like slotting in a guy like a Big Daddy, Bang Daddy Gudis? You know what I mean? Of course, I would rather have the upside of a Ristolainen,
someone getting PP1.
Yeah. If that was the consideration, but then if it's like, if you already have guys, like I think the marginal utility of, let's say, if you have 4 roster positions for D and then you get an additional 5th power play quarterback, I don't think it's that sexy for you to like get a non-optimized schedule for it. But I think if you, let's say, only have 2 or 3 and you want to add the 4th supplement, sure, you can consider for that, but not for the schedule like this, right? Like if he was playing for, let's say, the Rangers, right? Great schedule, great everything. Sure, I could work that in, but not for a 3 Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday heavy night setup.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, man, I'm getting frustrated with Levshinov, man. I wonder if they try someone else, but it is not good that I'm hoping it's just a very minor injury. Bedard did go down the tunnel like right at the end of the game last night, which sucks because it's like that's the league where I have Bedard and Celebrini on the same team, and I feel like those two win me some weeks. If you lose Bedard, if the Blackhawks are out Bedard for any length of time, Levshinov pretty much worthless.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it's-
got to figure out what to do with Levshinov if Bedard misses time. Hopefully
Alan,
not.
when is this? Oh God, jeez, yeah, no. Bedard doesn't even have any updates until
No.
Monday.
I don't know. It looks like he just landed on his a lot of comments, and again, on the internet, no one knows you're a dog. So it could just be just maybe a slight dislocation. Could just be needs to get popped back in. He's good as new in a day or two. But yeah, I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's it. I didn't see anything else
between him and the rest of that.
Oh yeah. And then what was even kind of frustrating is like no one went after anyone on the Blues like when that happened. Like this is I feel like this is what makes like a good like a cup contender team is like everyone fucking stands up for each other. Like, you know, when people get in Vazzy's face, like everyone goes and gets in their face kind of thing. Like no one stood up for Bedard. Like everyone just kind of stood there. Dirty
and you can kind of see the
hit or not.
Yes. And you can see the difference, right? Like for Toronto, for example, I swear.
Exactly. Yes. The other, on the
happens,
opposite end of the spectrum.
Like, it's horrific. That's why they never win championships, right? And then that's what surprised me a bit when the Oilers, for example, like when McDavid and Draisaitl started, spearing players, like taking like cheap shots. Like I thought it sounds weird because obviously we don't condone these sorts of things.
And that's
the or anything, but
now that they Kane like Corey Perry, now look at what's good. Like guys know, and that's what's been maybe part of their struggles to start the season is they know that they can push the Oilers around and who's gonna mess with them, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's
yeah. Hold on the discussion. Let's not open that can of worms.
Yeah. Anyway, so that's it for today. Good luck, everyone. Hopefully you got something out of today. Jay and I will be back tomorrow afternoon for the Week 11 script. We will talk at you later.
Yeah, we'll pick you up later.